I know. And so I just kind of poured out. The great thing is that I'm slowly learning that these truths, if they're done correctly in our art form, they translate all over the world. And, you know, I've written a few books now that people have come up and said that have meant a lot to them over here. Especially those books are important to me because they take place in my hometown in Texas, and to have that kind of feeling translate overseas and everything is very powerful.
So, Marvel and DC, two of the biggest companies in the world, how did that come about for you two? Did you contact them, or did they find out about you and they wanted to get you to do some of their comics and write for them?
I mean, when it starts out, you contact them. And then if you're any good, they contact you. Sure. You know, it's always, you gotta let them know you exist.
Right.
It's not, you know, they're not really looking.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that you know, editorial at the big two, their jobs kind of hinge on different things than our jobs do. Our jobs kind of hinge on how well we can turn things in, how well we accomplish that book, you know. Editorial's jobs kind of rise and fall based on deadlines and how fast they can get things through. So unfortunately, they don't have as much time as you would think to go out there and research who's doing a good job. And so at a certain point, you have to go out and start making your own comics. And I always compare them to the NFL, where like you don't go and try out for the Cowboys watch, and when you're ready, they grab you. But that analogy falls apart if you don't go out and play, right? So you got to get out there and make your own comics, and eventually you will get on their radar, because even though they don't have time enough to go and look for it, they do need it. They need people to come in and write comics and draw comics, you know?
So for Brian, you've covered a lot of the big names in DC, especially Batman and Superman. I think even you put it as, they give you the keys to the two biggest cars in a sense. Did you feel a lot of pressure having to write for that?
No, not at all.
Awesome.
No. I mean, it's probably more pressure to write Hawkman, because I don't have a Hawkman story to save my life, you know. If I have something to say about a character, I can write it. There's no pressure once I have something to say.
Well, what about you, Donny? Is there any sort of Marvel areas? For example, Guardians is coming out very soon, I believe.
Again?
Guardians is coming out very soon as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel a bit of pressure on top of that because of the Guardians films at all?
No. The movies don't. I try and not think about the films too much. I mean, my consensus on the Marvel films is that they should always be chasing us, not us chasing them. Because if they're going to do anything, then they're going to, you know, eventually do a kind of a half-assed version of what we're able to do all the time, right? I mean, Infinity War, as incredible of a film as it is, so you read Infinity Gauntlet, it's barely a film.
Barely covers it.
Yeah, it barely covers any of it. So, no, the Guardians thing doesn't trouble me at all. You know, every once in a while, our Mickey Mouse lords will step in and suggest a thing. But it really is just that. I think that there's a belief out there that the mouse has complete control over content or anything, but it's a lot more like how they run Pixar, where they came in and bought a company and said, just keep doing what you do and like give us the money from it, right? So it's pretty easy. I just did a Thanos story back when the first Infinity War book came out, and the movie got that book a lot of attention, which is very nice. And then, you know, with Guardians coming out in January, we're expecting a big bump from that. But honestly, that's about as much as we ever think about the films. You know, is should we probably have a Thanos book out during this time? If it makes sense, then we will. If it doesn't, then we won't. You know, but they should always be chasing us.
Would you like to see some of your kind of comic book adaptations being developed for films at all? Or do you think maybe you can tell the story better because you've got more kind of space to span out the story and the characters? Or would you actually like to see them maybe go onto the big screen?
I don't even think about that stuff. It's like, I don't know. If it happens, it happens. Who cares?
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think that anyone can kind of, if you don't know it consciously, you certainly, part of your brain knows it, that you're reading a comic book that is a film or TV pitch. And they're some of the worst comics ever made because they don't want to live inside of the art form that they want to be in. And so, I'm certainly, I have, and I'm certainly you have had people come biting for stories and the versions of things they want to do. I had a guy ask me if I could change an ending to a book because the ending wasn't that filmable. And I was like, Avatar just came out like 4 months ago. Like, you can't tell me that things aren't filmable. Figure it out. Like either you want to make this thing or you don't. I'm not going to change my thing because of you. And also, I've never been one to get hung up on this idea of, well, if they adapt your work into a TV show or a film, and it goes wrong, well, then they've ruined it. Well, that's horseshit because they can't ruin it. It's right there on the shelf. The thing that I did still exists right there, So I guess we're in the same boat. If it happens, cool. It's not something I got into this industry to get to.
No, I definitely don't. It's not why I'm doing what I'm doing.
No, not at all.
So Brian, you were saying before, like you feel like you only do something if it has a story that you want to tell. Obviously, this applies to you as well. What inspires you to write those stories? Is it something in life or something you've seen around you? Kind of think that'd be a great story to apply to this character, or do you pitch that more?
Usually I make a mistake and then I need to fix it. And I write a story about fixing the mistake, trying to fix it.